powered by Riverside.
What's up, everybody, and welcome into a brand new episode of the Broken Wheel Bearing Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Codd, this evening. Alongside of me is my co-host, Jake Belts. What's going on, Jake?
What's going on, man? Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. First of all, congratulations. You got the headset. You got the mic now.
Yeah.
Look at that, you know.
Feel official.
I know.
Sounds a lot better. I probably sound about a lot better, so it's nice.
I can hear you crystal clear, and I think our audience is 1,000% going to appreciate that tonight because there's a lot of information that gets thrown around on these shows.
Yeah.
Wow, what a weekend. Memorial Day race weekend. We had Monaco, which we don't really talk about. Follow the leader over in Europe. If you want to watch that, this ain't the podcast. I will rip you guys because your racing sucks. Okay. But then we got to American racing, real racing, the Indy 500. First of all, the couple of pace laps were pretty freaking cool with the helicopters going across with the Indy cars.
Yeah.
Nothing more American than that. And then we had Charlotte, Coke 600. So we closed out an awesome race weekend. We opened up a fantastic new partnership, in my personal opinion, with Amazon Prime. We'll be talking about that tonight. Really excited to talk about that. Could not wait. And we're probably going to piss off a lot of people. I don't care because this is what we want as NASCAR fans. But really, in reality, though, Jake, we had an amazing race weekend. We really did. And I know I was joking around Monaco. Monaco was pretty good. Indy was fantastic. Our boy Larson, though.
Heartbreaker, man. Heartbreaking. But still was a phenomenal weekend for racing. I think it's a weekend that every racing fan circles on their calendar. So, I mean, you got great racing this weekend, so I can't argue with it. Not happy with my guy, but still was happy to watch two phenomenal races go on this weekend. So
I know we're going to be talking about Kyle Larson a lot in the, basically the Charlotte discussion and all that, but I will have to say this, and our good friend Trial of Life on the show, he said it best. He goes, with what Larson tried to accomplish the last couple of years, now granted, Mother Nature did not play well for him last year. This year, it just did not look like. I think Indy ended up changing the car. Honestly, I think they ended up changing the design of the car because they could not keep those cars on the track at all.
No.
And you knew we were in for a mess of a race when Scott McLaughlin ends up wrecking on the pace laps.
Man, I couldn't stop laughing after watching that.
You know what the heartbreaker though was? The dude gets out of the car and it's like you work all May, all this time, and how hard do you work? And it's like you go out within the pace laps. It's like my heart broke for that dude. But the one thing is though, like going back to what Trial of Life said is, we gotta give credit to where credit's due. Kurt Busch did the double back in 2014. Did not do any open wheel car. Did not do any type of dirt track like what Kyle Larson does all the time. He basically ran the first 75% of that lap, just understanding how the car runs and operates.
Yeah.
Ended up finishing 14th in that race in 2014, and then goes to Charlotte. I think I don't have the stat up in front of me, but I think he ended up wrecking in that race. But it's definitely a difficult transition. And I think last year, I know we were very eager going into the race this year with Kyle Larson running Indy. I'm like, there's no way in hell he's not going to succeed with the way he put up the performance last year. And at one point in that race in 24, he was leading that race.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, new car ends up wrecking. It's a very difficult task. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about last year that it was Mother Nature, but this year Kyle Larson was his own Mother Nature.
Yes, he was. So we'll be talking a little bit more about Larson later on in this show. But Jake, before we get started, let's do like we always do. Show announcements this week, folks. We are, I want to say 4 weeks away now from Pocono. Yeah. I mean, because we're in the Amazon Prime stretch. That's the last race on Prime. Jake, we're going to be up there. Yep. We have been advertising this since the winter. We are massively excited. We'll be up there. Broken Wheel Bearing Podcast tailgate back on this year. We'll be recording live up at the Tricky Triangle. Come on by, stop by, listen to us live, banter about random nonsense of NASCAR, but also come and join us and drink some beer with us too. That's what we were talking about. Yep. It's a big beer celebration Pocono's a party, folks. If you haven't been there, grab your tickets now. Our show, unfortunately, tickets, we already locked them up for the seats. Won't be able to sit with the show, but go get your tickets. Come to our tailgate. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend for sure.
Last year was great. I'm
It
hoping
was a
that
lot of fun. No rain this year, I hope.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. Dover, next show announcement. We will be live at Dover as well. Still working out the logistics. We're trying to get through Pocono first, but July 20th at Dover, the Monster Mile. We'll be back down there. Looking forward to it. Listen, as the podcast and the official voice of NASCAR, the Delaware Valley in Pennsylvania, we got to support our local tracks. I mean, that's what I've been told for years, right, Jake? We got to support local.
And we get lucky. I mean, a lot of people talk bad about Pocono. I mean, you go to Pocono, we can 40 minutes up the road. I mean, it's not the best track to go to, but still, I mean, and then people who aren't near the Monster Mile, I mean, that's just everybody talks about Dover. I mean, I think it's one of the greatest. It's one of my favorite racetracks. I don't say the greatest. I think it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Dover. I mean, and I'm just glad that they got it out of that stupid late April date, Jake. I mean, for years I've been pounding the table saying, enough is enough. It's Delaware's rainiest time of the year. Get the damn date off of that calendar. So they're going to put it in the middle of July. I am not looking forward to the heat down there, but who cares?
We ain't gonna get rain. At least we got a smaller percentage of chance of getting rain. So
maybe 105 degrees in Dover, Delaware, but we're not getting rain. But anyways, we'll be down there, Monster Mile, July 20th. Come join us as well. Multiple ways to follow the show, multiple ways to listen to us. Wednesday nights, live broadcast. We are live on YouTube at the Broken Wheel Bearing Podcast. We are live on Facebook as well right now, folks. So if you're searching Facebook, you come pop up, come join, come chat, all that type of stuff. We love the banter. Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music, we are on as well. So if you miss our live episode, we will be posting it the next day on those 3 subscribers for your listening viewership as well. So a couple of the show announcements this week. And as you're listening live to us tonight, Blown Engine chat line wide open. I'm sure that there are people like Jake and myself that are a little disappointed on this Sunday's results. Actually, I really wasn't disappointed. I'm sorry. I was disappointed in Larson not getting 1100, but the guy who won on Sunday, oh baby, I could not wait to jump on this mic to talk to everybody that hates Ross Chastain. But Blown Engine chat line wide open. If you're upset at what happened this Sunday in any type of racing, Monaco, Indy, or over at Charlotte, hop on in. Come chat with us. We love the banter as well. A couple of the show announcements this week, Jake, and let's take the green flag out on tonight's show. So first topic of conversation tonight, we have some fast headliners courtesy of jski.com. Folks, if you're a NASCAR fan, follow them at www.jski.com, or they're on Facebook, Twitter. Well, what is it, X now? I don't even know.
Yeah, X. Yeah.
Is it X? Yeah. I keep screwing that up, but whatever. Go to Elon Musk's company. Anyways, if you're a NASCAR fan, I follow them on web by jski.com, and same with Facebook. So first headliner of the week, Jake, Garner Trucking sponsoring Justin Haley at Nashville in Michigan. Big sponsorship update by Spire Motorsports. They've been a really fun organization so far this season. Update number 2, Co-Fandy sponsoring Christopher Bell at Martinsville. Co-Fandy is a menswear label and will be serving as the primary sponsor of Christopher Bell at the fall playoff race at Martinsville. Sponsorship update number 3. And we're going to start hearing some of these sponsorship updates because we're getting closer to the Chicago Street Course. Supercars champion Will Brown will be competing for colleague racing at Chicago in July. Now, that's where Shane Van Gisbergen got his start and ended up coming into NASCAR. Mm-hmm. Could we see another Supercars champ possibly going through? I don't think so.
It's a hit or miss. I mean, Shane's talented. He races that car pretty good. I mean, he hasn't looked really good this season, but I don't know. I always like having new talent, new names in there, new different types of racing, and could be good for the sport, honestly.
I like it. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, especially, like you said, with Shane Van Gisbergen from New Zealand, brings more international eyes. I always liked when Kamui Kobayashi did the races for 23XI because I'm like, oh, that's a Japanese market. Hey, why not? With Toyota.
Yeah, so, exactly.
I don't know. I mean, I am excited though to see another, like you said, another talent coming maybe through colleague racing. Hopefully, maybe translate into more of a full time ride. Up next update. Uh, actually, that's going to be all the updates this week. Sorry. Um, our news headliner, excuse me, sorry about that, folks. This week, courtesy of jski.com, Chris Buescher. I think a lot of fans have been hearing about Chris Buescher and the penalty coming out of Kansas. After Kansas, he was penalized. He ended up getting docked 60 championship points. Ended up having a crew chief suspension. I mean, it was a massive blow to Roush Fenwick, Keselowski Racing, and the 17 team. But this week, it has been rescinded to a smaller fine. So the original penalty was $75,000, loss of 60 championship points, and 5 playoff points. Well, after this week, NASCAR reinvestigated. They reinvestigated what happened. The appeals panel took a look at everything. Upon the hearing, again, all courtesy of jski.com, upon the hearing, the testimony, the decisions of the National Motorsports Appeals Panel for the 17 team have been kind of reduced. They did say that the 17 team violated one or more, but not all of the rules set in the fourth in the penalty notice. The team violated Rule 14.5.4, which is the front bumper cover, which they found after Kansas. They also identified that the team did, but they identified that the team did not violate Rule 14.1.2, which was the exhaust cover panel. So the exhaust cover panel, no issues, but the front bumper cover was an issue. Now the penalty that was assessed by NASCAR is now officially a loss of 30 championship driver and team owner points, a loss of 5 driver and team owner playoff points, and just a 2-race suspension for the crew chief. But the $75,000 fine from the team will stay intact. So
Yeah, I saw it today, and I mean, sucks for him, but at least he's only 6 points out of the playoff picture.
yeah, I mean that's a massive swing, right? I mean, after the penalty takes place, we saw what, like you said, Jake. I mean, he was actually before the penalty, I think he was 9th in the points.
Yep.
Dropped all the way down, I believe, to 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
And now after the penalty and after everything got kind of rescinded but stayed intact, after doing the reassessment, he ends up sliding back up to,
I think he's an 18th.
18th. Yeah. Let me just double check that because I got the standings up right now.
I believe in playoff points, I believe he's 18th.
I think you're right. Give me a second, folks.
So I did, yeah, because they had said when I read today, they said he was only 6 points back from 16th.
Yeah, actually, NASCAR.com has not actually updated the points. I'm sorry, no, he's 18th in the playoff points. Excuse me, I'm sorry. You're right, Jake. Yep, 18th in the playoff points. If the standings were as is without the playoff drivers, he'd be sitting 16th. So he's just outside because Barry and Cindric ended up having wins earlier this year. So. For all the Chris Buescher fans, I know RFK Racing has been kind of a crapshoot this year, but I'll tell you right now, Priest has been really good.
Oh, yeah.
Priest has been good. And Buescher has been good as well with speed.
The penalty, real fast.
Buescher's been really fast. Now, Keselowski we'll get to him later in the show, but that one breaks my heart. I don't understand why. But again, all news and sponsorships, updates, all courtesy of jski.com. Follow them on Facebook, X, or by web at www.jski.com. So, okay. Charlotte, Jake. Charlotte, where do we want to start first? Well, real quick before we get started. Update for everybody for Charlotte. The truck winner this weekend was Corey Heim. Picked up his 15th win in the truck series. Dude, he is a special talent. Absolutely special talent.
Agreed.
I believe 23XI has a contract with him, if I'm not mistaken. I think I know they have a part-time contract this year. I don't know how long it's extended for. But I'm going to tell you right now, he is a driver that is going to come up through Toyota and they ain't going to let him go. They're not going to let him go. Could be the Carson Hocevar route, right? Hocevar didn't hit the Xfinity series. He went right from trucks to Cup. I'm thinking that Heim's going to do the same thing. I mean, this dude is just legitimately the only thing that beats him, Jake, is legitimately mechanical failures.
Yes, I've seen it. Yep.
I mean, if the mechanical failures weren't there, it's like, dear God. I mean, how many more wins does he have this season alone? He's got 4 right now. I mean, he might have won every single race if it wasn't for mechanical failures. On Saturday, William Byron ended up winning the Bet MGM 300 down in Charlotte. Pretty much unstoppable in that race. I watched majority of the race. Really unstoppable. Zilich ended up finishing second. Nick Sanchez finished third. I'm a big Sanchez guy. I do believe that Sanchez has a lot of talent. I need him to get into a better equipment essentially, but William Byron was not untouchable. I mean, but again, though, this is what happens when you go trophy hunting. This is what I expect from the Cup cars. I expect these guys to continue going into these younger series and continue collecting trophies. What is the famous line that Kyle Larson says, Jake?
Domination,
right? I mean, he goes down there and he's like, if you can't beat me on a Saturday, then you should not be up there on a Sunday.
He's not wrong.
William Byron showed it this weekend. I know it's Hendrick Motorsport, and that's the whole funny thing because everyone's complaining, well, it's Hendrick Motorsport, HendrickCars.com. What the hell? They shouldn't be down there racing with these guys. Listen, if you can't beat these guys on a Saturday, you're not going to beat them on a Sunday. Knock it off.
And with them guys being down there, it should give these guys I got something to work on.
I agree.
I think it actually helps them. I think it's like, well, shit, I want to be in a Cup car. I got a lot of improvement to do. So I like it. I mean, even if it's, I get it recently. It's been a lot of Hendrick drivers that have been down there. I mean, they don't have a steady guy in the car, but still, I don't know how many times I can repeat myself. You should take this as a lesson. Like, how can I do better? How can I beat these guys? Because if you can beat them on a Saturday, you got a chance to beat them on a Sunday. Car's not that much different.
Yeah, and that's a fair point. I mean, right now, when I look at the Xfinity Series, and I'm a prospect guy. I follow these prospects. I follow them from the ARCA Series. First of all, yes, I'm going to own it on air right now. I made a mistake with William Sawalich. Sawalich sucks. You look good in the ARCA Series because you're racing Joe Gibbs equipment. In ARCA. I mean, come on. That's not a good series at all to begin with at this point. I mean, a lot of the talent from the ARCA Series from 2023, which we saw with Rajay and Nick Sanchez, all those guys started getting pulled up, and now all of a sudden the ARCA Series, I mean, I can't even tell you somebody in the ARCA Series I feel very confident in. And the funny thing is, when I started watching ARCA in 2023, it wasn't even for those guys. I started watching it because of Frankie Muniz. I was Muniz watch. That's all I cared about. But a lot of these guys, though, in the Xfinity Series, they're bumping up. They're trying to go on the fast track because organizations saw what Hendrick Motorsports did in 2018 and Joe Gibbs Racing did recently. They basically went, oh my gosh, Hendrick Motorsports got all these young drivers at the time in 2018. They're not young now. They're right in their prime.
Yeah.
They rebuilt. That was their whole thing. They rebuild the organization. And every organization in NASCAR is so scared that they're not in front of the curve. And they're not beating. They're not taking talent up to the next level at this point. I mean, I look at the Xfinity Series right now. Yes, William Byron ended up completely dominating this race, and as he should, because this is probably, to me, and I will say this on air, this is the worst Xfinity Series talent pool I have seen probably in the last 20 years. There is legitimately, in my mind, there's probably, I would say, 2 guys right now that I could say they're going to be racing on Sundays. And the rest of them are probably going to be racing career Xfinity years for the rest of their life. And that's fine. The career Xfinity years. I mean, look at Justin Allgaier. Justin Allgaier made a massive career out of it with Junior Motorsports, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only one I can legitimately confidently say, and the second one I could confidently say at the moment, he's been a little bit of a disappointment this year. Connor Zilich will be racing on Sundays in a matter of time. He is absolutely talented. He is a sponsorship dream. Red Bull has taken full wings by him and all that type of stuff. The second guy I could say confidently that'll be racing, that's in the Xfinity series, that will be racing on Sundays, is Jesse Love. And to be honest with you, this past weekend we saw the Kyle Busch extension for the 1-year extension until through 2026. What does that tell me, Jake? Jesse Love is probably the driver in 2027.
Yeah, I can't argue that. I mean, those are the two guys that I was thinking on when you took them right out of my head. So I would love to see Justin Allgaier on a Sunday.
I would too.
And I mean, he showed a little bit of competition at Daytona 500, but he'd be middle of the pack, back of the pack type of guy. He ain't gonna give anybody a run for their money. I mean, maybe he'll win a race every 3 years.
Yeah,
But he also got put on a team, and that I literally got into Xfinity Series once Junior got into it. Like, I didn't really watch it that much before, and just being a fan, I was like, I want to watch his cars. I want to see how his cars do, and it's like, damn, it's Justin Allgaier. Kid's really good. I was like, I want to see him up in a Cup car, but when he's filled in on a Sunday here and there, where's he been?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's just getting in a car that's like, I don't know this car. I don't know what the heck I'm doing with. Maybe if he got set in a team and you let him race for a year, he gets comfortable. I don't know, but he's an older guy. So I think I agree. I just think he's an Xfinity Series is going to run with it.
Yeah, and Jake, there is nothing wrong with that. And I've said, and I know I say it like off the tip of my tongue, like so loosely. They're a career Xfinityer, and people are like, well, what have you ever done? And I'm like, yeah, you're damn straight. I'm on a podcast, okay? I'm not driving a car. And there's nothing wrong with being. I mean, Randy LaJoie did it for years. I mean, there's guys that Ron Hornaday made a career in the Craftsman Truck Series for years. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying it as an insult, but I'm just saying, like, if you're looking at talent and you're looking at the prospect pool, and like I said, I'll admit I was wrong with William Sawalich. I was, and I know he is 19 years or he's 18 years old. I get it, but someone's brought it up to me, and they're like, William Sawalich, what do you say? He's literally Brandon Jones, right? Brandon Jones they're all the same driver, right? They're great at the lower level, and then they're going to peak. But it makes me realize how talented probably Sundays really are with the Cup Series. And that's going to transition us into the race on Sunday. There is a lot of talented dudes in the Cup Series. There are. And like a guy right now, I look at in the points, Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs right now, he sits 25th in the points in Joe Gibbs Racing. Ty Gibbs was destroying Xfinity Series talent in 2021 and 2022 when he did spot starts. Completely dominating. And that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you know what? These Cup guys, like, we might be complaining and sitting there joking around like, oh, like Cody Ware doesn't deserve a ride in the Cup Series because he sucks. Cody Ware went back down a couple levels. He probably completely destroys the competition, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Austin Dillon. I mean, I make fun of Austin Dillon all the time. I mean, I don't think Austin Dillon's a talented driver. I really don't. I mean, he's got 5 wins in his what is it? He's been in the Cup Series since 2014. In 12 seasons of Cup, he's got 5 wins. That's not talented at the Cup level. That's not one of the best of all time. But guess what? He's got 5 wins. And if he did go back down the Xfinity Series, Jake, I kid you not, he probably would clean the floor with the whole entire competition.
Yeah.
I look at a guy. Go ahead.
I mean, it's like if you want to go back on like a Justin Allgaier who's dominated Xfinity Series for the past few seasons, I mean, it speaks for itself. That's another Austin Dillon. That's another Ty Gibbs. You get what I mean? I mean, I think Ty Gibbs is a lot, but is a more talented racer than him. But that's what you're going to get. I mean, if it's put Austin Dillon down to Xfinity, he wins. He'll dominate a race just like Kyle Larson does. But can't do it on a Sunday, but he's not going to go back to Xfinity. He's got that 3-car locked up till he's gone.
Yeah.
But again, like you could put somebody, like that's the thing, like there are guys in the Xfinity Series, like we were just talking about, that can come up and can compete on a Sunday. But then you have people who compete every Sunday who are no competition, but are locked in a car because of the circumstances that they're in. Ty Gibbs will never get kicked out of the 54 car. Austin Dillon will never get walked out of the 3 car.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like you're literally missing out on guys who can compete on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's a fair opinion, right? And like the other thing too, Jake, is like there's only 40 seats in the Cup Series level. There's only 40 at most, right? Like some races were running 37 cars.
Let's go back to 43.
I would love to go back to 43. I've been saying that for years. The thing that's wrong with NASCAR right now, and listen, NASCAR's on a high right now. They are on a complete high. We should be back at a 43 car field, hopefully soon. But I doubt it because it's NASCAR and they don't like to get their heads out of their asses. So,
yeah.
But one thing that they did right, Jake. Amazon Prime.
Oh,
Amazon Prime, man.
I literally and don't get me wrong, there's people on Fox that I love, but holy shit, did they kick ass this weekend?
Remarkable, sensational,
yeah,
sensational.
And you already knew I was pumped because Dale Jr.'s on it, so I'm like, I can't fucking wait. But oh, dude, I was like, holy shit! Like I'm listening to NASCAR.
Yeah,
I'm not listening to freaking Kevin Harvick and Clint Boyer having a bullshit conversation over here. It was. Don't get me wrong. I love those guys. I love listening to them. Smart guys who are racing it, but blew it out. Like, dude, Fox should be embarrassed.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Jake. I said this on a Facebook post this past week, and I said this is exactly what I think fans envisioned when we said Fox needs to be better. First of all, I'm a stat guy. You're a mechanic guy. Steve Letarte took care of both our appetites on Sunday.
Yep.
With the mechanics and the analytics. Not just that. The side-by-side coverage, the whole entire race, and during the commercials, right? When they went to commercial break, they didn't go to commercial break. They pulled something out of the F1 playbook. They said, you know what? ABC does this, and same with ESPN with F1. We're going side by side. We're doing commercial, essentially almost a commercial-free race. And they did.
Mm-hmm.
They got their commercials in. They went side by side. They didn't give up on the action. It was incredible. Third, the one thing I will say, I don't know who in the world did Amazon Prime hire to fly the drone. But I got to say this, that going from the camera angles at the top of the track to the top of the catch fence to the drone on the over pit road and going from side to side to side on angles, I felt like I knew where all 40 cars were on Sunday. Every single one, Jake. I thought I knew exactly where they were on the track. Absolutely sensational on the camera. And like you said, no, I like Clint Boyer. I like Kevin Harvick. I got nothing wrong with those guys. But Fox, it feels like Kevin Harvick, or it feels like Clint Boyer's fraternity party in the booth by being drunk.
I don't think anybody can argue through on that one.
No. And I feel like on Sunday with the Amazon Prime and that crew, Steve Letarte, Dale Jr., and Adam Alexander, I feel like I got a professional production. That was a sport I took a badge of honor with and said, you know what? This is my sport. We're not stupid. We're not stupid people.
Correct.
Yes, we like to watch cars go around in circles. And I'm going to tell you, and you guys think that that's all it is, but there is so much engineering behind these beautiful pieces of machinery. And with everything that goes on, I mean, these guys are true athletes, man. They really are. I mean, they sit in the car for, I mean, how many calories do they burn? Their heart rates, all this type of stuff. I mean, they're in a car for 4 hours at high speeds and high velocities trying to win a damn race. And and Prime brought that beautifulness to the booth. They did.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong at all. I can't argue with it. You said it the same way I would say it.
Yeah, it was remarkable. And like I said, Dale Jr., you love Dale Jr. Yep. I love Dale. I think Dale Jr., I had a guy on Facebook this past week when I posted that Prime's coverage was absolutely incredible. Some guy goes, well, Dale Jr. shouldn't be involved with the sport because he put this on a streaming service and he's kicking us baby boomers out of the sport. No, listen here, jackass. He's not kicking you out of the sport. He's trying to grow the sport because your generation stopped going to races. Your generation stopped buying merchandise. Your generation said all these guys were entitled. Your generation sit there and do this. Well, guess what? We're the ones that are trying to pick it up. And guess what? I have more access to Amazon Prime than I do cable television.
Yep.
Amazon Prime, 180 million U.S. Americans. That is a stat you can get off of Google. Have Amazon Prime in this country. That is an opportunity to go get viewership that you never even realized that you were going to hit.
I hate to say that guy's an asshole. Like, I don't even care who you are, but like Dale Jr. needs to be out. Are you kidding me?
Dale Jr. is growing the sport more than I think the sport. Like NASCAR needs an Earnhardt so bad that he's growing the sport single-handedly. He brought, by the way, if you complain that Dale Jr. needs to be out of NASCAR, he's the one that brought North Wilkesboro back, by the way, from the ground up. Okay. He brought North Wilkesboro back. He has his podcast that millions of people listen to every single week. He does so much within the racing communities. I don't, even with the television, I damn well know for a fact that he had a big say when he lost his contract with NBC, that's what he wanted to be involved with, was what Prime showed us the other night.
And I guarantee you, when he put that 40 car in Daytona 500, I guarantee you, the amount of people that even watched qualifying to watch to see how that car qualified was more than a normal race.
Yeah.
Weekend.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think
killing the sport.
I think Chris Singleton said it. I think Chris Singleton even said he wouldn't be involved in NASCAR if Dale Jr. wasn't opening that entry.
Yeah, I mean,
the guy must love Teresa. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I guess. Honestly, that's what it sounds like.
Dude, it's a joke, but
I just can't believe somebody thought it would be. I thought that. Just continue. I could go on about that for a while.
So, sorry about that. I did not mean to do that, but I'm going to be honest with you, Jake. This is the stupidity that we see sometimes from fans because they got butthurt that they're paying $300 for cable television, but can't afford $15 a month for Amazon Prime, even though their wife has an Amazon Prime credit card and realizes that Prime actually comes with the credit card. Just saying. Just saying.
It's probably it right there.
Yeah, but you know what? They took away his viewership from Fox, and it's not fair and all that. You know he's stupid? No, I'm not even getting started on this. I'm going to get in trouble tonight. You and I will get in trouble. We'll get kicked off everything. By the way, speaking of which, we are on Amazon Music. So Amazon Music, if you're listening to us, thank you for what you did. And again, follow the Brooklyn Woodbury podcast on Amazon Music. Our friends at Crew Chiefs Corner, they gave a final update on numbers, and this was all courtesy of Austin Karp of the Sports Business Journal. He reported the returns on Amazon Prime's coverage of NASCAR's Coca-Cola 600 had 2.72 million viewers. Yes, the number was down from 2024, which was 3.1, which was on cable television. That's what NASCAR expected. But here's where it really gets interesting. The Nelson ratings came in and said NASCAR got not just a 2.72 million viewership number instead of the original 2.61 that was initially reported. Here's where the interesting stat comes in. The average age of viewers. Something that NASCAR was looking at went down from 62 years old to 56 years old as the average age. 800,000 fans between the ages of 18 and 49 years old tuned into Amazon Prime's coverage Sunday night at Coca-Cola or at Charlotte. They're doing
Makes me so happy, man.
They're doing exactly what they want to do. Yes, I get it. They're going to lose old fans, but the ones that are constantly complaining about the sport and how the sport sucks and all that type of stuff, well, guess what? They're starting to bring in a younger demographic. They're starting to bring in the younger fans, and that's what needs the sport growing. Listen, I love any type of fan. I really do. And I know I mock some of them and all that type of stuff. We're very fortunate anyone who puts eyes on the sport. But the old generation that's like, well, NASCAR lost me as a fan. No, they didn't. No, you didn't. You're on Facebook. You're still tuning in. You're still listening to MRN. You're still doing whatever it takes to watch that race. You want to try to be a badass and say, I'm not watching it because it's on Prime. Clearly, Prime's numbers are reflecting what the demographic needs to be. That's a big shift, folks, by the way. The average age from 62 to 56 years old from the first race coverage. They nailed it out of the park. To say that they hit a home run is an understatement.
I'd be surprised to see the stats at the end of when Prime's done with their um after their whole segment of how many races they're doing. I would love to see the comparison between Fox and them. And I guarantee you NASCAR is going to look at it.
Well, two things that came out from this post from Crew Chief's Corner is that this was the highest viewed race outside the Daytona 500 between FS1 and Prime. So Amazon Prime already beat out the FS1 viewership. They did not beat Fox because Fox is national and they
Oh
get higher
yeah,
viewership. So,
yeah.
but they beat FS1. And the other thing too is, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But point is that this looks like it's the new route that they're going to go. And like you said, yeah, they're going to Prime for 5 races, then they go to TNT, which TNT, if you have a subscription to HBO Max, you can watch Bleacher, you can watch any sport on Turner Media through HBO Max. So I am interested as well, Jake. Where are the viewerships going to be with between Prime and TNT? And I'm going to tell you right now, if they continue up the productions that they have just put out on Sunday, the viewership is going to go up. Fans are going to be happy. There's going to be a lot of creative, innovative discussions within the sport.
Oh, I agree.
So let's break off of that.
You want to get in the Coke 600?
Yeah, we kind of went overboard on the Amazon Prime discussion.
Nah, you're good. You're good. I'll give you a question to start the week.
Yeah, let's go.
Where do you think Trackhouse Racing would be without Ross Chastain, your boy?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Anyone listening to us live tonight, I mean, that the question of the week is going to be, where would Trackhouse Racing be without Ross Chastain? Sunday, Ross Chastain picked up his 6th career win in the Cup Series. All 6 races were won in Trackhouse equipment. Second was William Byron. Third was Chase Briscoe. Fourth was AJ Allmendinger. Fifth was Brad Keselowski. Sixth was Chase Elliott. Seventh was Michael McDowell. Eighth was Christopher Bell. Ninth was Ryan Preece. And 10th was Noah Gragson. 4 stages were ran on Sunday. We had 100, 100, 100, 100. William Byron won all 3 of those stages. Stage 1, you had William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, John Hunter Nemechek, AJ Allmendinger, Chris Buescher, Denny Hamlin, Noah Gragson, Chase Elliott, and Michael McDowell. That was your stage 1 top 10. Your stage 2 top 10 was William Byron, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Carson Hocevar, John Hunter Nemechek, AJ Allmendinger, Ross Chastain, Eric Jones, Noah Gragson, Chase Elliott. That was your stage top 10 in stage 2. Top 10 in stage 3, Byron, Hamlin, Hocevar, Reddick, Chastain, Allmendinger, Bell, Elliott, Briscoe, and Ryan Preece. That was your stage 3 top 10. To put it in perspective, laps led in this race, well, there wasn't many laps to go around that were led, Jake. You had one driver lead for 14 times. That was William Byron for 283 laps. And then you had Denny Hamlin 8 times for 53 laps. Kyle Larson 2 times for 34 laps. And then multiple drivers for 1 lap or 6 laps and 1 lap. Your race winner, Ross Chastain, led twice for a total of 8 laps. That is your final score summary, courtesy of NASCAR.com. Now, going back to your question, right? Because of the race winner of Ross Chastain, where would they be without him? I don't know. I don't know. I think a team that is still trying to figure themselves out if Ross wasn't on that team. I think it's a team maybe similar to Chip Ganassi when Chip Ganassi left the sport, when Larson left the sport, and it was just Kurt Busch. Folks, I don't think we realize how talented Ross Chastain is. And he gets a lot of shit. He gets a lot of heat.
Oh, yeah.
It is records or checkers and as aggressive as possible with this driver as much as he can. But this is what we love as fans of Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain, to put it in perspective, yes, the equipment, Trackhouse equipment, in my opinion, they came on the scenes in 2022. I was like, everyone was all up in arms with them. They won 3 races as an organization in 2022. Chastain had 2, Coda, Talladega, Suarez at Sonoma. 2023, Chastain won Nashville. That was the only win of the season. Shane Van Gisbergen and Chicago Street Course. Then you had 2024. You had Suarez won at Atlanta early in the season, but then Trackhouse didn't find victory lane again until Chastain saw it in Kansas. And then this year, Chastain punches his ticket into the playoffs by winning the Coke 600. Chastain has 6 of those 9 organizational wins. Chastain, if Trackhouse Racing ever wants to win a championship, Jake, it is going to be through the one car of Ross Chastain. He is their best threat to win a championship. He has been in the championship 4. We have seen some incredible Hail Mary moves, the Hail Melon from him. This dude will do whatever it takes to win a NASCAR race. And to me, personally, we talk about guys who came through the ranks, Xfinity Series, Truck Series. This dude does not miss a race. He runs Truck Series races, runs Xfinity Series races. God, this guy did it the right way. Came up through Premium Motorsports, ended up getting his big break when Ganassi ended up getting sold to Trackhouse. Kurt Busch was first asked to drive the one car. Kurt Busch went to Justin Marks and goes, "You might want to consider Ross Chastain." And I'm going to tell you right now, Justin Marks and Ross Chastain has paid dividends to what Trackhouse Racing is as an organization. Where do you think they would be without him?
I mean, I think, just going off your last point, I think them picking Ross Chastain was the best thing they could do. I mean, that is their guy. I like Ross Chastain. It's always every week you can't count him out. I mean, he has tracks that he's good on. He has tracks that he ain't too good on. But at the end of the day, I don't ever count him out. I mean, the guy started in the back of the pack and worked his way all the way up at the Coke 600. I mean, that's huge. That's great racing, great team, great pit crew. I mean, he just had an all-around phenomenal day. But I think Trackhouse would still be trying to figure out what are we trying to do here. Mm-hmm. I mean, you take the 6 wins away that he has, 3 wins. I mean, I think they needed. I mean, I know they've already invested so much into them. I think they need to keep investing to make that car better, because that guy can. I mean, now he's going to be in the championship. I mean, don't count him out. Don't count him out.
No, and totally agree. I mean, we talked about it before we went to the All-Star break, right? Ross Chastain in 2025, courtesy of Broken Wheel Bearing Podcast Analytics, Ross Chastain's average finish going into the break was, his average finish was 14.27. His average start was a 17.4. His plus minus on average start and average finish was a 3.13. Now, that was before the break. The stats weren't up to date. Ross Chastain, right now, according to NASCAR.com, his average start is 25 flat. 25. That's disgustingly low. Usually, if you do a plus minus differential, if you start 25th, you're not getting higher than most likely 13th. And that's in a pretty good car. Look at Ty Gibbs. Joe Gibbs Racing has great equipment. Ty Gibbs, you do a plus minus 10 on his average start, man, it fits his narrative. Chastain's average finish, according to NASCAR.com, is a 12.9. This dude outperforms his own equipment each and every single week. That is a plus. That's nearly plus 12 positions he's gaining in a race week in and week out. To top it on top of that, if you follow us on the Broken Wheel Bearing Podcast on our Facebook page, I posted something up there in regards to Chastain and his starting and his finish positions in each race. Right now, Chastain has only had a negative finish position in 3 races in 2025. That was the Daytona 500, where he started 9th, finished 40th. At COTA, he started 9th, finished 12th. And at Homestead, he finished 25th and finished 31st. Sunday, like you said, Jake, on Sunday, he went from 40th to 1st. He went plus 39 positions. It's the first driver to do this at Charlotte since David Pearson.
Oh, dude, Matt, when I didn't even know those stats because I don't follow the guy that much, but when I saw him, I'm like, holy shit, like, this is the shit that people sly away and don't look at, and it's like, the stats speak for itself. I mean,
to go back to your point,
To go from 40th to first in the Coke 600, like that's incredible. Hats
Agreed.
off. Hats
Agreed.
off. Phenomenal racing. And now that I've seen those stats that you had posted on the page, I mean, I'm like, damn, like I knew Ross Chastain had it, but like, damn, like this guy's good. And I think people overlook it. Like, and I love NASCAR, and like there's guys that I overlook. Like you always hear the same name every weekend, and guys talk about you always see when you're always looking at the same car going by. They keep going to the same people and everything, and the top guys. But I think you got to put Ross Chastain in that because that guy can go from, like I just said, 40th to first, like that.
To put it in perspective on what his Trackhouse colleagues are doing, Suarez's average start is 24.4. So that's 0.6. That's 0.6 better than Chastain. Suarez's average finish is 22.07. Chastain's a 12.9. Chastain gets 10 positions better each race, where Suarez gets about 2 to 3 positions better. Let's go to Shane Van Gisbergen, who to me right now, I would love to see more out of SVG. We talked about it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Would love to see him actually be a legit driver. Unfortunately, it's just not in the cards. He's a road course warrior. Van Gisbergen, with Trackhouse equipment. The same equipment Chastain's running, by the way, folks. Van Gisbergen, his average start is 30.4. So he just completely bombs on Saturdays. Completely bombs on Saturdays. His average finish is 25.8, according to NASCAR.com. He's going plus 5 positions each race almost. The thing though with Chastain is I would love I would love to see out Chastain 1 week with this guy just having an opportunity to qualify well. I just want him to qualify well. Just give him a top 5 car in qualifying. I want to see what this guy can do because I'm going to tell you right now, if this guy starts qualifying on Saturdays and puts his car in the top 5 in qualifying, he might be talk about breakout seasons. The one car may end up breaking out in the matter of minutes.
Yep.
I mean, again, 3 races, in only 3 races, he ended up, losing positions?
Yeah.
And 2 of them were outlier tracks. One was a super speedway and one was a road course. Now, Homestead, he's got to be better. Unfortunately, he has to because the championship races there next year.
Mm-hmm.
But to go back to your question, where would Trackhouse Racing be without Ross Chastain? If you're listening to us live on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're at, feel free, Blown Engine line wide open. Where would Trackhouse Racing be without Ross Chastain? The question is, they'd be still trying to figure out who they are within themselves. They would. This guy has legitimately put Trackhouse Racing on the map. And like I told you and like I told our audience about a couple minutes ago, the best opportunity for Trackhouse to win a championship is through the one car. And my final point is, before I hand the mic over to you, Jake, my final point with Ross Chastain is people don't like him because he makes waves. He pisses people off, but you know what, though? There was plenty of drivers in the past that pissed a lot of people off and won a lot of races.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
I mean, you're going to have them weekends, man. You're going to have to piss somebody off.
Listen, Ross Chastain has sponsors that he's got to appeal to and got to put the car in victory lane for as well, just as much as everybody.
Yep.
My final thing, though, about Chastain's win on Sunday, Jake, gotta give credit to Denny Hamlin. And I'll say this in regards to Hamlin and Chastain, for folks that are new to NASCAR, don't know a lot about NASCAR, Hamlin and Chastain have this absolute natural hatred rivalry towards each other. Chastain has kind of did Denny dirty a little bit in 2022 to the point where it kept boiling over. When Hamlin went down a lap, got back out off pit road, I'm going, there's no way in hell Hamlin's going to let Chastain go and get the lead. Hamlin backed off. He basically pulled himself out of it, and he let Ross Chastain battle William Byron for the race lead and the eventual win. So credit to Hamlin. I mean, he could really manipulate Chastain's result right there as well.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I want to give an honorable mention out to the 4-car Noah Gragson this weekend. I think that he raced a phenomenal race. I was happy to see him up there this week. Noah Gragson is he's an outlier out there. Not a lot of people watch him. Not a lot of people follow him, but he raced a good race this weekend, and I think this is motivation for him to do better. I really love seeing that 4-car back up there. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. I think a couple drivers, in my personal opinion, a couple drivers I was pretty impressed with on Sunday. I know Legacy didn't have to finish that. I think they were anticipating. John Hunter Nemechek's had a lot of speed over the last couple weeks, points paying races, right? I didn't really care about North Wilkesboro, whatever. But in regards to points paying races, John Hunter Nemechek's been having a lot of speed and he's been a lot of fun to watch in that car. Now, Eric Jones, he's been picking it up as well. I mean, is Legacy's rebuild over? I'm not going to go to that distance. I'm not going to go that far. But I was pretty impressed to see both Legacy, the 43 and the 42. Now, Jimmy Johnson, can you just do me a favor? Please, please just retire. Please retire. Oh, you there?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, cool.
I think we can go without him. I think I've seen enough of him. I mean, the car's just going to finish back in the pack every fucking weekend. So hang the fucking steering wheel up and don't put one back on a steering shaft and just let it go.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm tired of Jimmy Johnson going out there and completely wrecking each and every single week. But it was, like I said, it was good to see both Legacy cars up there. One driver you were disappointed with on Sunday.
Kyle Larson. All day long.
Your turn on the mic.
So I know we're talking. This is all about NASCAR, but we're going to bring up Indy for a little bit since it is a double. I don't want people on here to think that all I care about is talking about Kyle Larson, but that is my guy. He did run the double, so we got to talk about it. On Sunday in the early afternoon, Larson spins out. I did text Matt. That wasn't even his fault. Didn't even get to watching the replay, and I was like, "Damn it, the guy spun his own fucking self out." Overcorrected, went too low. It is what it is. Day's over. Car's done. And then you go and then you get to the Coke 600. The guys leading out front. What was that? I guess almost 2-second lead on Byron.
Yeah.
Running his race. Decides to not go high. We're gonna try a different line, and boom, spins. If I can tell you as a Larson fan and watching him over the years, that guy is his own enemy. I was so pissed. Like the Indy, I was upset, whatever. It is what it is. But to spin yourself out in first with a 2-second lead, I was just pissed. I mean, to run 1,100 miles, the guy didn't even race 500 miles, and he raced 2 races on Sunday. That was my biggest disappointment.
Jake, I just did them. While you were talking, I was just doing the math of total laps Kyle Larson ran on Sunday. Remember, the goal was 1,100. Kyle Larson fell well short of that. well short of that. For the folks that are doing the math at home, Kyle Larson was in the Coke 600 for 245 laps. You multiply that by 1.5, that gave you 367.5 laps. Or miles, 367.5 miles. At Indy, he was in the race for 91 laps. That's a 2.5 mile track. Do the math at home, 227.5 miles. Grand total miles that Kyle Larson ran on Sunday was a grand total of 595 laps. Or miles, 595 miles, excuse me. Well short of the 1,100 miles. Well short.
And to answer the question that you were going to ask about, will he race it again? I mean, I saw on Facebook today, the team tweeted out for Indy, thanks for the memories, number 17. So I personally, in my opinion, don't ever see Kyle Larson racing an IndyCar again. You got 2 years, 2 failed years. I mean, I get it. I mean, he finished Indy 500 last year, didn't make it to the Coke 600 until halfway through the race because of the rain, but 2 failed years. How much more money is Hendrick going to throw at this thing?
Something clearly has told me that Kyle Larson should not complete the double. He shouldn't. Now, this is back-to-back years that one, last year you had Mother Nature, you had that issue, right? But then the second thing is that this year, a lot of hope, a lot of opportunity. Indy started off in a rain delay.
Yeah.
Started off in a rain delay. Now, granted, once they got going, they got going. Rex after 91 laps goes to Charlotte. You kind of knew there was a massive disconnect with Kyle Larson, like you said. He's his own worst enemy because he went to Charlotte moping around, just bent out of shape, running the car like an idiot, which, listen, that's one of Kyle Larson's strengths is that he can run any line on any type of track. But the point is that he was running this high line that was unnecessary.
Yep.
And throughout the whole entire race, you knew running that high line that early in the race, it was just eating your tires away. And what happened? He hits the wall. Okay, not a lot of damage, whatever. Continues running the damn line. What happens? He spins in the front of the pack. Shouldn't have been in the back of the pack when this wreck happens and that takes him out. But he's there. Why? Because damage. They got to make sure, Cliff Daniels got to make sure there's no damage on the car. Gets back out on the track. Granted, they run a couple stages. He was one lap down. Ends up getting back on the lead lap. And all of a sudden, what happens? Briscoe, Suarez, Blaney into Larson, and we're done. The problem with Kyle Larson, for how talented he is, he gets in his own head way too much.
Oh, he went to Charlotte pissed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know pissed or if he just wasn't there mentally.
It's like and he said it beforehand. I will leave Indy to go race the Coke 600. That's where my head's at. NASCAR is where I race. So you wreck out of Indy and you go there and you have the same fucking mentality and shit going on through your head because you're mad that you wrecked on your own and you start racing like an idiot. It's a shame because, man, I really don't know anybody else in the NASCAR right now that I would feel confident in saying hire them to run the double.
Yeah.
Larson's I wouldn't even pick Larson again. I wouldn't. 2 years, don't get me wrong. Year one is kind of hard. I mean, you finished a damn race in Indy, but then you come out this year two and you just fumble the bag twice in one day. So I wouldn't want to put my money on you.
So let me ask you a question. You want to put Larson back in there. Is there any driver in the Cup Series that you would want to have him run a double?
The only person I can think about right now is William Byron.
That's a good one. If you're listening to us live if you're listening to us live, is there any driver in the series right now that you would want that you would let them run a double? I think Larson. We've already seen the story tale. I think it's done. I think Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin are just too old. I
would pick Denny Hamlin 5 years ago.
I would pick Kyle Busch 5 years ago too, but there was an issue with Joe Gibbs Racing, which he identified on his podcast. But outside that, maybe I would do Cindric just because there was a connection to open wheel, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think that excites fans.
Do you think Shane SVG could probably do it? Maybe.
I don't know.
But he's going to finish in the back in both. Yeah.
Yeah, he's struggling right now. I don't necessarily think there's – the only other one maybe I could think of that may be able to do it is Tyler Reddick.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a big stretch, but I just don't see really any Cup drivers at this point. Well, I'm sorry, maybe AJ Allmendinger. AJ Allmendinger I think would be a good one, but AJ is also 44 years old, so I don't know necessarily if he's willing to do the double.
There's a lot of time, man. You got to devote yourself all the month of May. And if it's your first time doing it, you're spending way more than that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's the whole month of May. That's the other thing, too. Look how much preparation Kyle Larson had to do. All the simulators, now granted, this is 2 years worth of work that went into Sunday. I think it sucks, and I think there was a higher expectation from Kyle Larson because of what we saw last year. Last year, he went out to Indy, and it was like, oh my gosh, this guy, he's going to win the race.
Yep.
He's going to win the race. He qualified very well. He had practice speeds that were absolutely outstanding. This year, he just went out there, and it was just like everything that could have went wrong. And I think that he was afraid that what NASCAR did to him last year. I think he was afraid to actually have happiness doing what he was going to do.
Yeah. I
Now,
think there's just I personally think he had this mindset that I have to do it, and I'm going to do anything in my power to do it, and he just tried too hard. Like, dude, you're running Indy 500. You're not there to win it. Like, I would literally, like, if I'm a Scooch, I'd be like, dude, you're not here to win this race. Finish the
no,
race.
yeah,
Just finish the race. Race every lap. Finish the race.
yeah.
Coke 600. We all know you can win it, but if the double means this much to you, do not battle yourself to get to first. Like, I get it, he had to go one position to get to first, but don't go to first and be like, oh, I got to be this dominant racer all for the whole rest of the day and night. Like, finish the race. If you want to complete the double, you can't be as aggressive as Kyle Larson is.
That's a very different. You brought up a really good point. I don't think fans understand this about Indy. NASCAR is a very, and I equate the two styles of racing. NASCAR is a very violent, aggressive, thunderous type of racing. It is the football of auto racing. It is blunt force trauma. It is aggressive. It's beating and banging, and it's on top. You're there to, you're trying to punch somebody. Open wheel with Indy and Formula One are very, very like European soccer. They're very finesse. They're very fast. They're very finesse. They're strategic. Well, then I think that's where we're at with NASCAR in the Cup Series. I don't think there's a single driver in the Cup Series at this point that could go into that sport because they're so accustomed to beating and banging. How many Formula One drivers have we seen come over into NASCAR in this next gen car and go, oh my gosh, this is absolutely the most aggressive style of racing I've ever seen in my entire life. That's just what NASCAR is. And that's the beautiful thing about NASCAR. They're all different types of forms of racing. But yeah, it's a damn shame that he ended up not completing the. I thought he had a good shot. Unfortunately, the month of May was not good for him.
Nope.
But no, I agree with you. I think he's done. I don't think that Hendrick is going to be throwing any more money at it. I think that something is legitimately telling them that Kyle Larson should not complete the 1,100 miles. So,
and I know I said William Byron, but I don't see Hendrick being like, oh, Kyle Larson's going to do it. We're going to go another guy. And then have that realm up there. I mean, they could, but speaking of William Byron, another dominant weekend, but can't complete it.
283 laps led. 283 laps led in this race.
This was his race.
It was his race. It was the 24's race. I thought it was the 11's race as well. Second race of the season, too, for the 24. I mean, and the one thing I'll give them a lot of credit. They learned their lessons from Darlington, Jake, because that Darlington race where he led almost nearly every single lap, they made a pit road miscalculation. They ended up pitting after everyone went in. This week, they legitimately said on the radio, I want to come in when Denny Hamlin comes in. Hamlin waved out, came down pit road. Guess who was right there, the 24? They calculated it perfectly. The problem is that car in the fourth quarter ended up getting very loose, he was losing a lot of speed on the track where that ended up eventually giving the one car an opportunity, who honestly, the one was the fastest in the fourth quarter. He was.
Oh, yeah.
Completely, it's a shame because like you said, you saw how great William Byron was in this race. And it's like, damn, that's the second race of the season. And you look at a guy like Ross Chastain, who in the beginning of the race he had the speed. He finished the stage 2 and 3 in the top 10, but the dude closed that race. William Byron was absolutely leading that race. And it's almost like when a football team ends up going up 35-10 and loses 38-35. That was William Byron and Ross Chastain on Sunday.
Yep. Couldn't say any better.
Byron cannot close a race. And listen, William Byron is one of the most talented drivers on the track. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, dude, I love watching him.
Me too.
I love watching him this weekend. Shut down Denny Hamlin. I loved it.
The problem is that William Byron has an issue closing a race.
Yeah.
That's his downfall. And that's been his downfall the last 2 years. When everything goes right, when the sky is blue, the birds are chirping, the sun's beaming down on the track, when everything's picture perfect, William Byron will completely dominate. But when he actually has to close, and when he's dominating, he has to close the final laps, he can't close.
Oh.
That's been the story in 23. It's been the story in 24. And that's going to be, I'm hoping that changes in 25. Because if William Byron was able to close a race, William Byron to me would be a champion already. Now,
Oh my God, yeah.
I think the one race that he was able to close, and I'm sure someone's going to correct me on this, the one race that he was able to close was back in 2023 at Las Vegas. Larson ended up getting around him. Eric Almirola ended up spinning in the spring race. Eric Almirola ended up spinning. Larson, Byron on the restart. Byron got around him, ended up closing that race. That was the last time I could say William Byron closed the race.
Yeah.
Jake, my biggest disappointment this weekend, Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney. 5th DNF on the season.
Wasn't really a disappointment for me. I enjoyed it. No, but still, yeah, for that team and him, yeah, it is a disappointment. I mean, 5 DNFs in 1 year is a lot. That car's fast. He was up there. I mean, he was racing hard, and wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, I mean, now I will say this. I think that wreck ended up stemming from Chase Briscoe.
Oh,
where Briscoe
yeah,
ended up running. Briscoe ran out of real estate, got into Daniel Suarez. Suarez ended up getting into Blaney, and then everything went loose. Kyle Larson gets involved. Ryan Blaney, as you said, is very fast this season. But the problem is that he has not been able to keep that car on the track for a full length of a race. He's got 5 DNFs in 13 races. That is not good. He's led 200 laps, though, this season. He's got an average start of 15.8, and he's got an average finish of 17.7 at the moment. All stats courtesy at NASCAR.com. If Ryan Blaney, now granted, it's not just Blaney. I think all of Team Penske was completely in a whole disarray with the whole Tim Cindric firing this past weekend. They were all out of it. I mean, Cindric was horrible. Logano was absolutely nowhere to be found. Blaney ends up wrecking. The guys over in Indy, Newgarden was absolutely atrocious. Will Power was not good. McLaughlin ends up wrecking within the first couple laps or on the warm-up laps. I mean, it was a disaster of a weekend all around for Team Penske. But like I said, their leader in the Cup Series, in my opinion, is Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney's got to be much better. You got to give him a vehicle that can actually go the distance. I mean, he's got 2 blown engines this season. He's wrecked on Sunday. It's not been a good year for Ryan Blaney to start. But you know what, though? With how much speed that this car has had, he's got 5 top 5s, 6 top 10s. Right now, he currently sits 7th in the points.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that just sucks is, and we watched it, the closest it's been to a race, it's blown engine or wrecks. I mean, this guy doesn't run a race. He's going to finish the season not playing in the playoffs, and the car should be in a playoff. I mean, to all the Ryan Blaney fans, he's going to run a race this year. Don't get me wrong, but unfortunately, probably the race that we're at. But whatever.
Probably they'll probably win Pocono, and now they'll get you excited, right? Wins Pocono, maybe wins Dover. Who knows?
Yeah.
Let's talk about quick outs tonight. 4 drivers. We'll do a brief over real quick. 2 drivers, absolute heartbreak for Denny Hamlin this week. Pit crew, not filling up the gas tank, absolutely stupid. Cost him a win. And Hamlin was really good.
He was going to win that race if it wasn't for that. I'm telling you that right now. I don't care what anybody says who's going to win that race. If you hate him or you love him, he's going to win that race.
I totally agree with you. I think the 11 was going to win it. Other heartbreak, Carson Hocevar. Spire Motorsports has had a lot of fun speed this season. They just have fast. They just have not had equipment that could last the distance. I mean, running third and ends up blowing an engine, ends up DNFing in this race. I mean, the dude legitimately had race-winning speed.
Oh, yeah.
And the mechanical failure on the 77. I mean, Hocevar, listen, I'm not rooting for him to leave Spire Motorsports because I do want to see another team like Spire get to that next level of legit competition. Because if there's more teams, more parity, it's more fun. But the one thing I will say, God, if you could put Carson Hocevar in like the 9 or the 48, that might be lethal.
I mean, he'd be fast, but I'm not a Carson Hocevar hater. I think the kid needs to be a little bit smarter. I think he does still do some dumb shit in the way he passes people. He's not clean. If he became a little bit of a cleaner driver with that speed, he could be lethal.
That's the
And
whole
I think
thing.
it's just the young. It's still the young immature. Like, I don't. Immature is not the right word, but it's still the young guy, and just he's just barely touching grass in the Cup Series. So I mean, you give him a few years, he get there. He's going to get smarter, but that kid's got speed and he's willing to do whatever it can to get up front. Just be a little bit smarter and be a little bit more cleaner, and you're going to win races, man. I mean,
yeah. I would God. I mean, I do think that Spire gets in the victory lane with him.
I think he might win a race this year.
That's what I was going to say. I think he wins a race in 2025. I really do. I think he's got the talent. Spire has showed that Spire Motorsports going into 2025 put a lot of money, in my opinion. They put a lot of money in their Cup program. They have a great truck program already. They put a lot of money in their Cup program. They have a lot of speed in those cars. McDowell's had a really good season so far. He's fringe playoff driver in Spire Motorsports, basically putting up the results that he's done last year. And then you got Carson Hocevar, who's absolutely been bat fast. Unfortunate mistakes though. And then you got Haley, who to me I'm a little disappointed in. But I mean that car still has speed.
Yeah,
that 7 car is a better practice and qualifying team. So, all right, round of applause. Speaking of Michael McDowell, round of applause this week, Jake.
yes.
2 round of applause this week. Michael McDowell, applause number 1. First top 10 of the season for the 71 car. And round of applause to Brad Keselowski. He finally did it, guys. He finally did it. First top 5 of the season, only took him 13 races.
He ain't dead yet. He's coming back. He watched our
that,
podcast. He was like, "Damn, I gotta do something to get these guys to stop talking shit on me."
He probably listened to me. He's like, that guy, Matt, man, he's got the most faith in me ever. All right, Jake, before we close out Charlotte, we get to Nashville. Final point standings. The point standings currently update at post Charlotte. William Byron is now your points leader after the horrendous day from Kyle Larson. Larson is 2nd. Christopher Bell's 3rd. Chase Elliott is 4th. Reddick is 5th. Hamlin 6th. Blaney is 7th. Chastain is 8th. Logano is 9th. Bowman is 10th. Briscoe is 11th. Bubba Wallace is 12th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is 13th. Stenhouse, another driver that's absolutely been flying.
Will do anything.
Finished 11th in this race, by the way. Really under the radar type of finish for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Massively impressive. Right now, he's 13th in the points. Ryan Preece is 14th. Another driver just having a great season. Austin Cindric is 15th, and Chris Buescher is 16th. That's the standings before the playoffs. Now, if I change it to the playoffs, which I cannot get to right now, but in regards to the playoffs, Josh Berry would be in the playoffs, obviously, as a driver who won. Buescher would be out, the first driver out. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much our Charlotte discussion tonight. Pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
It was a good weekend. It was
a fun weekend. Sure. Exciting, exhilarating, a lot to talk about. But we go to Nashville. Nashville now. One of your favorite places, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Still haven't been. Still have not been there.
Missing out, man. I gotta get back there for a race, but fun times.
You got a pick this week?
I'm gonna go with your guy, Chase Elliott.
Oh, Chase Elliott. Okay.
I think this is the week that team turns everything around. That kid gets in victory lane. I go Chase Elliott, and then with a high road, I'll probably go Christopher Bell. I don't want to see it, but I see him being really fast in Nashville. So the favorite right now is my guy, but I ain't picking him because I ain't happy with the way he's been racing. But so I want to be upset to see that 9-car victory lane. I think they need it.
Well, in regards to Elliott, according to driveraverages.com, he ranked 4th among active drivers in average finish at Nashville Superspeedway with a 7.7. He's got 1 win, 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, and 4.6% of the laps led since 2022. So Yeah, 9 car. I mean, listen, concrete. He's really good down there. You would think that this would be the track that he gets this done. He needs to. I mean, he had a good finish this past week. That we can't. He finished sixth in this race. I mean, that 9 car was really quick when the race was coming down to the wire. But I'm not going to go. I am not going Elliott. It kind of hurts, but I'm actually going to go. Give me Ross Chastain again. Give me Chastain.
Hey, I like I said earlier tonight, can't count him out.
Chastain, he's been really good in Nashville Super Speedway. Now, last year he ended up DNF in 32nd, but he was running second until he got wrecked. He won in 2023. 2022, he ended up finishing top 10, and 2021, he ended up finishing second with Chip Ganassi Racing. Chastain has also led 15.5% of these laps since February 2022, according to DriverAverage.com. So he puts that car up in the front a lot. This track, he talks highly about how this is Justin Marks' home track because Trackhouse wants to get to Nashville eventually, put the NASCAR team out there. Give me Ross. Back-to-back weeks, watermelon smashes. Can you imagine 2 watermelon smashes with Amazon Prime?
Hey, let's see it.
Well, that's going to take the checker flag tonight for us. So, again, appreciate everybody tuning in. We are live on Facebook this evening, live on YouTube on our Broken Wheel Bearing Podcast Facebook or YouTube page. Follow us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. Jake, it's been absolute pleasure tonight.
Yes, sir. Fun. Yes, sir. Looking forward to talking to you next week and with all of our audience. And let's go racing at Nashville.
That's it. Let's go racing at Nashville this week. If you're going to race, have fun, be safe. If you're not, enjoy your racing viewership on Amazon Prime, baby. On Amazon Prime. With all that being said, thank you so much. We appreciate every single one of you. It gets us all excited. And, we'll talk to you guys next week after Nashville. Jake, have a wonderful night.
Hey, you too, man. Thank you. Have a good one, man.
Deuces. Have a good night.
He didn't slam you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing. He didn't slam you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.